Week 10 of the Simulation Football League rolls on with a pair of 4-win teams hoping to start a late season march towards the top of their respective divisions. Tonight, the DC Dragons come into town to face the Lexington Miners. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cameron Duty, and I'm happy to be joined by Ramos Lynn. Friend, DC comes in today's game with one of the most potent ground attacks in the league, and they look to keep that machine going tonight. Meanwhile, Lexington is looking to make a statement of their own and pick up their first victory against the 500 or better team. What are your thoughts on tonight's game, Ramos?
Well, this is one of Gerald Smith's pretenders, as he will call it, against one of Mike Dagg's contenders. So, as you said, Lexington is a team that has been a little bit up and down. Sometimes they have a great defense. Sometimes the offense shows up. Sometimes the offense is kind of lagging a little bit behind. But, I think overall they're a pretty solid team. And you have DC Dragons, obviously a one-time champion and one of the stronger teams in the Simulation Football League this season for sure.
Folks, as we like to say, get comfortable, grab a snack, grab a beverage. You're not going to go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. Kickoff is underway, and we thank you for being with us. This kick is taken out across the 25 to the 27. That is where Lexington will set up shop. We will say hello to the starting lineup in just a moment. Some interesting notes about these teams and this matchup of the 4 previous meetings between these two teams. The home team has lost 3 of the 4 outings. Will that change today? Lexington certainly hopes that it will change and they can get a W. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. 1st and 10, under center, Kenny Slider for the Lexington Miners, coming in with 11 touchdowns on the season. He gives it to the halfback right out of the gate. Phoenix Jones, gain of 1, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, 2 teams coming from wins a couple of weeks ago. Of course, we did have the overall bye week, except Canton and Florida. And DC won their game 21-0 last time out, and Lexington beat Vancouver 17-6.
Again, to the ground they go. Nothing there. That gain of the 1 that they had on 1st down, they lose it to DeSantis, who makes the tackle. It's 3rd down. Let's say hello to this Lexington offense. We mentioned quarterback Kenny Slider and halfback Phoenix Jones. You'll also see the halfback Dion James and the fullback Lars Bazar. The wide receiving core of Alexander West, CJ Parrish, and Gabriel Manning, as well as the tight end DJ Bandit. And at guard, Phoebe Collins. To the air for the first time today. The pass is complete to Alexander West, and this drive is extended.
This is a really good play, really good pocket presence right there by the quarterback. As you can see, pretty clean pocket, and throws the ball right in between the zone, right in between about 3 or 4 different Dragon players. And a good job by Lexington moving the chains here on their first drive.
Certainly do not want to go 3 and out on your first drive. So the drive is extended. They move past the 40-yard line. And the Miners hoping to get in a little bit of rhythm here. Back to the ground game they go with Phoenix Jones, who gets 5, 2nd and 5. Let's say hello to the DC Dragons defense. The defensive ends, Kano Fortson and John Gary. The tackles, Mike Wagner and Jason Bourne. The linebacking core of Nick Fargo, Jason Strongbow, and Saeed Gore. The cornerbacks, Peanut Say, Jadubi Doo, and Daryl Bullock. And then the safeties, John DeSantis, Tyler Highfield, Josh Vasquez, and Kev Say Jr. Another play with the ground attack. There is a flag. Let's see what we've got here.
It's a face mask, pretty clear face mask as the running back got twisted and brought to the ground. Pretty dangerous, as Lexington is going to take advantage of that and put the ball almost in scoring position. This DC Dragons defense, Cameron, only 16 points per game allowed. That is 6th best in the Simulation Football League, despite not really having a lot of takeaways.
We'll see if they can lock down here as the Miners are faced with another fresh set of downs. A gain of 1 once again by Jones. And in on that tackle is number 53, Jason Strongbow, in his 2nd season with the team.
Yeah, more about the DC Dragons defense. Overall, they're pretty much middle of the pack, 14th in passing yards allowed and 12th in both rushing yards allowed and total yards allowed a game.
Again, trying to work that ground game in, but for the moment, the DC Dragons defense, that's Jason Strongbow again with a strong hold that time on 2nd down, and it's 3rd and 8 coming up.
On the flip side, Lexington, their attack is mostly on the air. They have 11 passing touchdowns this season, which is second best in the Simulation Football League. And despite them throwing the ball quite a bit, only 9 turnovers, only 9 giveaways this year.
Slider again to the air, going, looking, pass is complete. That is Alexander West again, the second time tonight on the third down attempt. He finds his man, and this drive will continue.
Yeah, more good pocket presses by Slider as he slides to the left, pun intended right there, and finds the open guy. Lexington now in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
It's so interesting, Ramos, you mentioned this air attack for Lexington. 11 touchdowns coming in for Slider. And then in just a moment when DC gets the football, you're going to see the complete opposite, as it is a ground-heavy game, especially towards the red zone, and we will touch upon that as this game goes on. What can Lexington do in the red zone territory now with Slider moving right, throwing back across his body? That is 3 for 3 for Alexander West, a gain of 4, and it's second down.
And again, good decision making by Kenny Slider right there, finding a little bit of open room, finds his target, and a pretty balanced attack here for Lexington.
2 men in the backfield behind Slider. The give again to Phoenix Jones. He gets past the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard before being brought down. Number 52, Nick Fargo, in on the stop.
DC trying to make a stand here in the red zone. 3rd down and 4. The playbook is pretty open for them. I think of maybe a quick throw here.
Correct to the air, they go to the end zone, touchdown! And it has been the 3rd down conversions that have been perfect so far today for Lexington, and it's the Hall of Famer Gabriel Manning with the TD.
You know, what a drive here by Kenny Slider, finding the open guy. This is not bad coverage at all. It's just, you know, Gabriel Manning finding a little bit of room back corner of the end zone, and good presence of mind to have both feet in bounds, and Lexington a very quick start to the game. Lexington coming into the game a 4.5-point dog here at home.
The extra point by Takeda Yuki is good. An 11-play, 72-yard drive that took just about 4.5 minutes accumulates in a Gabriel Manning touchdown. And you did mention great coverage by Darrell Bullock for DC. It's just one of those things, one-on-one coverage going against the Hall of Famer to the corner of the end zone. As you said, the hard pass to defend. Lexington strikes first.
Let's see what DC does here to respond.
We bring this kick out across the 25 down to the 29-yard line, and we will introduce the DC Dragons starting lineup. Quarterback number 7, Shabazz Synergy. The halfback core of Kevin Say and Sam Harrison, the fullback Chuck Steller, and the wide receiving core of Mason Kirby and Josh Gill. The 2 tight ends, Joe Hayden and Lauren Percoco. The 2 guards, Robert Cron and James Judah. The center, Michael Percoco, and the 2 tackles, Quinn Zook and Ezekiel Rubin. And Synergy drops back to pass, incomplete off the hands of the intended target, Lauren Percoco, with good coverage by Lexington that time.
Yeah, and the offense for DC, a little bit of the flip side from Lexington. They're more of a running team, 5th in the SFL in rushing yards per game at 135. 11 rushing touchdowns leads the league. Meanwhile, the passing yards a game, 141. That ranks dead last.
And back to the ground, as we said, so familiar to this team. Chuck Steller with the toss play right side. He gets 4, 3rd and 6 coming up. Let's say hello to the Lexington defense. The defensive ends, Chris Andrews and Berto DeMora. The defensive tackles, Mike Mello and Jaden Swift. The linebacking core of David Ware, Philadelphia Collins, and Tony Roberto. And we will pause right there for this 3rd and 6 conversion. Synergy to throw, almost to the other team, as a matter of fact. Number 41, Cameron Shaw, with an almost INT. It's going to be 4th and 6.
This is a very, very strong start again from the Miners. You know, you have a great opening drive, ended up in 7 points, and now you force a 3 and out. And this is where you can really open up your playbook on offense if you are, you know, Lexington, because, you know, if DC doesn't stop the bleeding, they will be pretty tired.
Low snap for Ron Van Cleef, but he gets this punt away, and it's returned by Manning. On the next series, we will continue with that Lexington Miners defense. A quick 3 and out for DC. Kind of unexpected, wouldn't you say, Ramos?
Yes, absolutely. You know, and DC again, offensively, is 11 in the league in points per game, you know, averaging 20 and a half points per game. But, you know, it's their ability to get past the first, you know, first down marker on, you know, all kinds of downs, third downs. They are pretty good running the football. So, again, a really strong start from the Miners.
Phoenix Jones with easily his best run of the night. It's a gain of 4. They'll make this second down a little more manageable here.
Yeah, DZ averaging 53.5% on third down conversion. So, you know, comfortably top 10 in the league. And, you know, Lexington here at home again with a very solid start. And again, this running here from Lexington, Cameron, is maybe not flashy right now, but it keeps the defense on their heels, right? You know, showing that you can do a little bit of both, and that will open up the passing.
That brings up a 3rd and 2, and you're right. So now they're in a position to where they can do either or here. We'll see what they do with 2 men in the backfield and a tight formation. They give it to Jones, and he is stopped. And just a great defensive play. Yeah, go right ahead, Ramos.
Yeah, no, great defensive play. As you said, it's a great pursuit by the linebacker, staying disciplined and making sure the running back doesn't get past the first down mark and driving him backwards. And on 4th and 1, DC has a pretty big stop here early in the game.
And that was Jason Strongbow once again with a big-time tackle. Now, the punt by Yuki. And it will be fielded and returned to the 31-yard line. So while we have a moment, I'm going to quickly finish this defensive lineup for the Lexington Miners. We left off with the linebacking core, Philadelphia Collins and Tony Roberto. The cornerbacks, Nate Heslop and Jay Rock and Cameron Shaw. And the 2 safeties, Travis Arthur and Marco Swift. Now that we've been able to introduce you to both sides of the football for both of these teams, let's get back to it with DC taking over at the 31-yard line. 2 men to the top, 1 to the bottom, and they give it on the carry to Kevin Say, who gets 3. Second down.
Yeah, and that's the lifeblood of the DC Dragons when you look at the stats as well. Kevin Say, 123 carries coming into the game, which is 11th in the SFL. Now, mind you, there are teams that run 2, even 3, 4 backs. So being 11th is pretty up there. And touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns this season for Kevin Say, second most in the Simulation Football League.
To the ground, once again they go. A short run that time. Sam Harrison with the carry, and it was Ware with the stop for Lexington. So that is going to bring up an important 3rd and 5. DC looking to convert for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and you look for Lauren Percoco here if you're the defense. You really have to focus on the tight end.
Josh Gill, number 84, in motion to the left. Into the air, they'll go. Pressure coming, and they deliver, and you're correct, Ramos. Lauren Percoco, and she's got room to run across the 30, out at around the 25-yard line. You dialed it up perfect, my friend. They went for Percoco, wide open, and a beautiful play on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a great route by Percoco. It's a simple corner route, and Lexington brought in a blitz. So good job by Shabazz Energy standing strong in the pocket and delivering a perfect ball. Once it's caught, because of the blitz, man, there's really not a lot of defenders to tackle the tight end.
Back to that ground attack with Harrison, a spin move, and he gets a good chunk of yards, 10, maybe 11. They're going to say he gets the first down on 1st down, and a fresh set of downs here.
Really strong blocking right there. That's number, I think it was number 82. Trying to get a name for you, but great block right there on the outside. That allowed the first down to happen.
Yeah, the block. Contributed by DJ Bandit, the tight end.
Yeah.
Synergy, the throw to Percoco. Again, obviously a popular target for DC anyway, but just a great job there, as a matter of fact, on that play.
Yeah, 100%. Again, this is man-to-man coverage this time. Percoco, I mean, there's not a lot of linebackers who will be able to cover her on one-on-one, and DC with a great drive on their own this time. And now you call for the running game, Chuck Steller, especially since he's the bigger back.
I beg your pardon. On that block, that was actually Cliff Russell. Let me get a correction on that. Pressure coming, and Synergy thrown to the ground. completely obliterated the offensive line, and Philadelphia Collins came rushing through.
Yeah, Collins gets his get back right here on the sack. He got burned on the previous play and now gets a pretty big play right here to bring the DC Dragons back to the 6-yard line. You know, there's not a lot of room to maneuver with, and when you have a blitz and there's nobody open, that's sometimes what happens.
To the ground, Kevin Say looking for his 7th touchdown of the evening. He stopped short. That will bring up 3rd and goal, but you're right. This is their bread and butter almost. This is what they love to do, and they've had such success doing it.
And again, if you're Lexington, you have to scream in your head per Coco, just cover the tight end. She goes in motion. Let's see what they do. No, that's the backup tight end going in motion.
It's Jay Hayden going in motion.
Jay Hayden.
Here we go, 3rd and goal on the ground, and it looks like Lexington will deliver. They get the stop. Roberto in on the tackle, and it's 4th and goal.
There was a little bit of misdirection there. You know, normally the defense, when you see a player in motion, especially somebody as big as Jay Hayden, you think the play is going to come that way, and they try to go weak side. It just didn't work for the Dragons. Great play by Lexington.
And a great first quarter already in the books. Lexington leading DC by a score 7-0. You are watching the SFL on YouTube. Cameron Duty here with Ramos Lynn and Dakota Butts doing stats this evening. We thank you, sir. And Cameron Irvine, of course, back at SFL headquarters. With that 3rd down attempt unsuccessful, that brings on the special teams unit. Caleb Richards on to attempt the field goal, and it is right down Broadway. So DC able to get on the board. Not what they wanted, though, this close to the red zone. They're usually typical to punch it in, but they come away with the field goal attempt, and they draw within 4.
But still a pretty good drive here by DC. You know, you started the game losing 7-0, then you get a 3-and-out against you. You know, at that point, there's some teams that could be maybe not in the ropes still in the game, but, you know, trying to limit the damage, trying to get the feet under them, and, you know, to go back, score a field goal. That's, you know, not too bad here to start the 2nd quarter.
Gabriel Manning brings the return out to the 29-yard line, and Lexington will have good field position to start this drive of the game. Obviously, you know, Manning has already made his mark in this game early on. That 7 points that you see, if you're just tuning in, came from a Kenny slider to Gabriel Manning pitch and catch in the corner of the end zone. So you know that is the direction that DC will probably be focusing a lot of, making sure they've got a lot of coverage there on Gabriel Manning. They keep it on the ground with Jones once more, who gets 4, 2nd and 6. And that is something, an attribute, Ramos. Great receiving core here with Alexander West, CJ Parrish, and Gabriel Manning. A lot of weapons.
Yeah, and you have a young quarterback in Kenny Slider that is taking advantage of all those weapons. We already saw Alexander West have a couple of big catches. We saw Gabriel Manning with a touchdown. And, you know, we haven't really even seen the tight ends just yet, or even the backside of the backfield.
Indeed. And Deion James, a good gritty run, gets close to the 1st down marker, and it's 3rd and 2 coming up. And as we said, very manageable for this team when they get in these positions. So far, they're perfect on 3rd down conversions almost. Excuse me.
Yeah, 3rd down and 2. I think this is going to be another run, maybe to the outside this time.
And it is a run to the left side, and again stood up. This DC Dragons defense, so impressive. Nick Fargo that time was there to stuff the line, and it's 4th and inches.
You know, Nick Fargo, one of the, I think, underappreciated legends here in the Simulation Football League. He's been so good for so long. You know, even back with the Sioux Falls Sparrows days, you know, he's been one of the top-tier linebackers in the league.
Fargo, 15 seasons in the league, 2 of them with DC. And on the return is Sam Harrison. And they'll start at the 26-yard line. So a really interesting start to this game, Ramos. We've seen Lexington come out firing. DC able to put some points on the board with a field goal, but it's been a defensive struggle ever since.
Yes, it has. And, you know, probably what we were expecting. DC normally has a pretty strong defense. And the defense from Lexington, again, maybe sometimes up and down, they have proven to be a good caliber defense this year.
Certainly dialed in today. DC again back to the ground with Chuck Steller, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. You mentioned the two tight ends, Jay Hayden and Lauren Percoco. They love to use them in motion.
Yeah, they do. And trying to find the mismatch, especially with Percoco. You know, trying to get her on a safety one-on-one or maybe even a linebacker one-on-one. DC does a really, really good job involving their tight ends.
Pressure coming, Synergy throws, and you got to believe that he felt that heat coming around from the weak side. He gets rid of it a little too soon, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Cameron Shaw on the coverage. Cameron Shaw with a low-key, really solid year so far here for the Lexington Miners as well. Has 4 interceptions, 4 pass defense this year, and he's been locked down.
Synergy to throw over the middle. The pass is complete. A much-needed conversion. They get what they need. Mason Kirby with the reception, and it's 1st down for the Dragons.
Yeah, and this is what, you know, the Dragons do very well on the passing game. You know, it's, again, not a high-end passing. Like, they're not going to blow you away with 80-yard bombs or not like that, but when they have to convert on those 3rd and manageables, 2nd and manageables, they can call up on the slant. They can call up on the quick out, the quick in, the dig route. So, you know, Shavas is very good at, you know, finding the open target.
This is Nate Heslip who is on the coverage there. And again to the ground, to the air. I'm sorry. That is Hayden. Jay Hayden, the intended target, and it was Cameron Shaw who was there to kind of jar that one loose.
Yeah, Shavas, again, having a pretty decent first half. It does look like he's rushing just a tiny bit. Now, this Lexington pass rush has been pretty good this season.
Synergy, pressure again in his face, one-handed. Somehow, Percoco able to come up with that one. And you know what? We got to say that's a nice hands catch. We'll go ahead and call that. That's brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. I'm a sucker for those one-handed catches, Ramos.
Yes. Especially from a tight end.
Oh, indeed. They convert here with Say getting the carry. So a fresh set of downs. And again, just a good job. You had the great reception by Percoco. It was effective. It got them within the range to convert on that 3rd down, and then they let the ground do the work.
8 players in the box here.
Look at Harrison. With a little room to run, a little hesitation there. Looked like he was about to spin, but he gets brought down after a gain of about 6. And this really is an impressive-looking drive for DC, as it feels as if they're kind of getting their feet under them, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. You know, especially, again, Percoco, she's carving up herself, potentially even an all-star caliber season. Coming into the game with 36 catches and almost 600 yards. Now past the 600 yards after the few catches she has had in this game.
And there's that Lexington defense once more, locking down Say, trying to get to the outside, and it was just completely frozen in place. You can thank Philadelphia Collins for that, for stopping him in his track.
3rd down and 4. We may see another pass, maybe another quick slant here, bottom of your screen here. Look for that matchup.
Synergy looking that way. You are correct on that, and it's just off the hands of the intended target. He went across the middle, actually, to Josh Gill. And again, we can thank Lexington for good coverage there, just making it hard to get that pass in.
Yeah, and I think Shavas missed the open target I was saying on this slant. It was Cameron Shaw in coverage, but he had outside leverage. So when you have outside leverage, you don't put hands on the receiver. They have a free release to the inside, and it looks like Shavas just missed him.
Ron Van Cleef on once again to attempt the punt, and a fair catch will be called for at the 12-yard line. Folks, we would like to remind you, and of course, thank you for joining us tonight. We want to remind you the SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season. That will be July the 10th through the 14th of 2025. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel. That is the Hyatt Regency. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at SimFL.net. Something we're all looking forward to, and it'll be here before you know it, so get that rate locked in. 1st down, Slider with a quick throw, literally a zinger in there to Gabriel Manning for a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, he's so good. Gabriel Manning is so good. He's such a complete receiver. You can put him, you know, quick slants, quick outs, or you can just throw the go route with him. He returns kicks and punts better than anybody we've ever seen in the league. a true #1 receiver.
Phoenix Jones once more with the carry. He gets the first down, takes a hit, and gets up pretty happy. As you can see, those running lanes are beginning to open up. They were struggling early in this game, but now the lanes are actually widening out.
Yeah, speaking about #1s, Phoenix Jones, one of the best running backs in the Simulation Football League, also for the past handful of seasons, to be honest.
Quick handoff to Deion James, who wasn't able to get much. And there is a number we've called a lot in this game thus far, number 53, Jason Strongbow, with another tackle on the day.
Now, 2nd down and 10. This is a prime opportunity for DC to hone in and force him into a 3rd and long.
Pressure is coming, but it is picked up. Slider rolls out, throws deep. The pass is complete to Manning. How does Gabriel Manning end up wide open along the sidelines in that manner? Nevertheless, a great play for the Miners.
Really good adjustment right there from Gabriel Manning. Hopefully we get a replay. Yes, we will. This is scramble drill, so he has to cut his corner route and kind of flatten that out. And, maybe the corner, again, respecting that speed that Gabriel Manning has, really backs up quite a lot, and he finds himself a little bit of opening and a huge 3rd down conversion, 2nd down conversion here from the Miners.
We said it would be a statement game if Lexington could come in and beat DC today. As we mentioned, Lexington, they have yet to win against a team that is 500 or better. They're wanting to turn the tide tonight. So far, things are looking good for this Lexington team. Slider with, again, good coverage. The pass complete. A nice airborne reception by C.J. Parrish, and this drive is extended.
C.J. Parrish, again, one of those talented receivers that Lexington has at their disposal. Not a lot of catches this season, but 14 grabs, 200 yards. Doing his job.
And right now, Ramos, it's Lexington winning the battle with the one-on-one coverage. 1st and 10, 3 minutes and counting in this first half. The toss play to the right side as Jones takes the pitch and bulls over a couple of defenders. A couple of hard-earned yards there. 2, as a matter of fact, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, 2nd and 8 indeed. You can keep it on the ground right here. 2nd down and 8. Again, keep your balance. 3 receivers, though.
Slider to throw. Oh, and something you very rarely see, a pass off the hands of Gabriel Manning, and he was wide open. Had he caught that, he would have been dancing into the end zone, but it's an incompletion.
Yeah, it looks like the DV overplayed that one, opposed to what happened in the previous couple catches by Manning. The defense was giving a lot of room. This time they tried to jump the route and almost cost them dearly.
Yeah, DC breathes a sigh of relief on that as it's 3rd down. They bring pressure, but it's picked up, almost intercepted. They were going for Manning again, but you got to credit that DC defense for coming up with peanut say on the deflection. He almost had an interception, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he almost did. Lexington, though, again, a decent drive. They're going to be able to come away with 3 points if, obviously, the kick goes through. And, overall, this offense or this first half here for Lexington has gone as well as they could have expected.
Takeda Yuki on now to attempt the field goal. And again, he drills it after a 9-play, 66-yard drive. It is a 7-point lead for the Lexington Miners with 2:43 remaining in this first half. If you're just joining us, my name is Cameron Duty. I'm with Ramos Lynn, Dakota Butts, and Takeda Yuki in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters. We thank you for being here as this kick is brought out of the end zone. Matter of fact, Harrison gets past the 20, down to the 24-yard line. And so for DC, this is actually going to work out really well, Ramos. 2 minutes and 39 seconds. They can play to their strengths and, if effective, can use the rest of this half.
Yeah, and you can go to the ground game again, which is your strength. There is no, pressure as far as time is concerned. You have 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Still all 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning.
A handoff again, as you said, this is their bread and butter. This is what they like to do. Kevin Say with a carry. He gets 4. Take a look at stats on Slider. Completed his first 8 passes and then finished the drive 0-2. So an interesting stat right there on Slider, who has had a heck of a day thus far before that DC Dragons defense was able to stop them in the red zone. 2nd and 6. They give to Harrison. He disappears in the crowd, and he reappears at the other end across the 50. It's a foot race, and he is brought down by Philadelphia Collins, the big man chasing him down.
And that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're Lexington. You have the man dead or rights right there behind the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden Harrison is off to the races, well past midfield, and DC is still with 2 minutes to spare already in Lexington's side of the field.
2 minutes to play. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. We'll be right back. DC now looking really good on this drive. Of course, playing to their strengths, the ground game, doing a great job for them. Again, with Say out of the backfield, he gets 5, 155 and counting.
No need to rush, no need to go no huddle or call one of your timeouts. Plenty of time here. I will like to see Chavez maybe go play action here.
Keep it on the ground once more. I believe that is Harrison in on the carry. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. And here in 3rd and 5, you expect them to be possibly looking for Coco's way, correct?
Yes. I mean, right there, the wide receiver right there in the slot. You really have to keep an eye on Percoco. You know, put one guy specifically for her and then bracket cover her.
A rollout by Synergy looking for Coco's way, and the defense interrupts that intention, and it's number 37, Jay Rock, who comes up big, and it's 4th and 5 now for the Dragons, and they're going to go for it.
And I like this. I mean, it's kind of no man's land. You're at the 38-yard line. It's too close for punting, too far for a field goal.
This crowd comes to their feet. The throw over the middle, bobbled and incomplete, dropped. Intended for Josh Gill, if I'm not mistaken, but that is bobbled and falls to the ground. And Lexington will have 1:08 to work with.
Yeah, and Gill has had a pretty quiet year. 9 catches, 93 yards coming into the game. Does have a touchdown. Is one of only 2 players for DC who does have a receiving touchdown. But you know, that's a play you have to make if you're the receiver.
We expect Lexington to be aggressive here.
Yeah, actually, I do. With 1:08, 3 timeouts, I actually do.
They'll start from the 38-yard line as they send motion from right to left. That's DJ Bandit. And the give is to Jones. Gain of 3.
And it doesn't look like they're going to go no huddle. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to be aggressive here on 2nd down. They very well could be. And especially after getting that stop on 4th down, you have all the momentum on your side. You want to capitalize on it.
2nd and 7, the clock continuing to run, 43 seconds. Back to the ground game they go once more with Jones, who gets stopped. And we are down to half a minute remaining in a fast-moving first half.
Yeah, now that you got stopped right there, now is when you call off the dogs probably if you're Lexington. We'll see. They do show 4 wide receivers, though.
Interesting formation indeed, and now they show motion. That's C.J. Parrish. Going up to the top of the screen now with 3 receivers. And it's Slider to throw deep, and the pass complete, but no, out of bounds, they say. He was able to bring it in, but not within the confines of the football field, and it's 4th and 7.
Yeah, now they will have to punt. This one has to be an angled punt near to the out-of-bounds line. You don't want to have DC return a punt for a touchdown here with 6 seconds left in the first half.
It's Itachi Yuki with the punt. The fair catch is called for right at the 20-yard line. And that is going to be an interesting way to end this first half with a punt. But nevertheless, Ramos, a great first half of action. It's been everything we hoped it would have been, and then some. Lexington leads DC 10-3 as we welcome you into this SFL halftime report. Ramos, give us your thoughts on this first half.
Well, this is the good Lexington defense showing up here for this game, at least in the first half. Again, this has been a defense who's been kind of up and down. Again, last game only 6 points allowed against Vancouver, but then the previous game they allowed 27 and 31. The prior to that one, they only allowed 15. They also had a 34-6 shellacking of the Motor City V8s. So, again, a defense that has been kind of like bipolar, but the good defense of Lexington has shown up tonight.
Any adjustments that you were expecting coming out of the gate for the second half?
I think for DC, you gotta, talk to your wide receivers and make sure they come up with those catches that hit their hands. We've seen again Josh Gill, miss on that play, and you just gotta make sure your fundamentals are on point.
Right. Let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT, and we'll be right back, folks.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
We invite you to break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com, as we welcome you back in to start this second half. A pretty even game thus far. Look at the total yards.
Yeah, pretty even in the scoreboard. It's just a one possession game right here. Everything can turn in just one play if somebody gets loose for DC.
We know a lot of eyes are on this football game today. Say gets the carry around left side, a gain of 2. And we talk about the importance of this game for these two teams. We take a look at the standings in the North Division. DC struggling to keep up with Baltimore and Canton. For the Central Division, Lexington a game or so back of Minnesota in the second spot. Say again with a carry, spin move, gets a little more room to run that time, and that'll bring up an important third down quickly.
Yeah, but you made it a third and manageable at least, which is pretty good for DC. And again, this is a time in which, the receivers have to step up. Lauren Percoco is a great tight end, but you need your receivers also to come up and make a big play.
Another tight formation with one receiver to the bottom, and that is Synergy to throw. Looking to the defense, the pass is intercepted and going the other way. Certainly not how that was drawn up, and it's Nate Heslop with the INT.
Yeah, not a good, decision right there. Trying to force feed Percoco right there in triple coverage. Again, Lexington has done their homework. They know that's the receiver they got to cover, and just force feeding the ball to Percoco backfires on the Dragons.
That is Nate Heslop's 5th interception on the season. Incredible. As Lexington takes over at the DC 34-yard line. Slider with the handoff to Jones, running right side, gets 4 before being dragged down. And right now, if you're Lexington, the momentum and the confidence that you have, you got to be feeling really good about your situation.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, especially having the ball right here at the 30-yard line. After that Jones run, you have to come away with points here.
And I'm probably stating, the well-known fact here, but it's really is important that they can get a touchdown out of this drive for the outlook of this game.
Yep.
To the ground once more with Jones, and that brings up a third and very manageable here.
Yeah, protecting the ball here for Lexington has to be paramount. They're in the scoring position. Right here will be about a 45-yard field goal. Again, you want to come up with a touchdown, but even 3 points, making a 2-possession game will be huge.
Indeed, pressure coming. And that slider brought down. Not enough time to really even look down the field. It's Mike Wagner with the sack.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You got to protect that field position, because now you get backed up to the 35-yard line. It will be about a 51, 52-yard field goal from here. Let's see if they call on the kicker to... No, they will bring in the punt unit. This is a great stop here for DC.
Yeah, and how about that DC defense with their backs against the wall, asked to make a big play, and that they did, as Yuki's punt is high, it's hanging, and it is fair caught at the 15-yard line. So, Synergy's interception, it's not going to look good on the stats book, but no harm, no foul as far as points off turnover.
Yeah, yeah. The defense really bailed the offense out on that one, keeping it a one possession game. And I think you have to come back with say at least here on this first down.
The DC Dragons now lining up, as we said, at the 15-yard line. And they will go to the air. Intercepted! Can you believe it? 2 straight plays, 2 interceptions, and it is number 25 coming up that time. Marco Swift with the interception. Unbelievable, and DC is shaking their heads.
Yeah, and again, I would have liked to see a run here at least on first down. Take the pressure off Chavez energy just a little bit. Make him relax. Because right now, at least on that play, it looks he was pressing just a tiny bit.
I don't think Joe Hayden expected to even get that pass.
Yeah.
It looked like he was caught off guard by that. And so Lexington again with the second interception and as many plays, dumping it off over the middle to Manning, a gain of 4, and even better field position this time than what they had on the previous turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. And you cannot give guys such as Phoenix Jones and Gabriel Manning this type of field position.
And as you said, protecting the football, protecting the field position here. As you said, a field goal, if anything, will make it a 2-score game. That's why they keep it on the ground with Jones running right, and he gets a couple, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 right here. Lexington in third downs, bottom of the league in percentage, only converting on 46% of their third down conversion. League average is about 50%.
Pressure is coming. Slider stands in there. One-handed grab by Manning. Shrugs a tackle and gets down to the 1-yard line for the 1st and goal.
More shallow crosses here for the Lexington Miners. And when you send a blitz, you're leaving guys one-on-one. And, as good as a corner as Peanut Say is, you're dealing with a monster here in Gabriel Manning one-on-one.
You're dealing with a Hall of Famer and making Hall of Fame plays. So 5 of 8 when it comes to receptions and being thrown to tonight. So just a great job by Manning, of course, and Slider connecting to the ground. They will stay. It's going to be a fight, and it's going to be close. But 2nd and goal coming up short is Phoenix Jones.
That's a terrific tackle right there in the open field. And, if I'm Lexington, I'm keep hammering it. You don't have to get cute here. You have one of the best goal line backs we've ever seen in the SFL in Phoenix Jones. I'll give it to him again.
Phoenix Jones looking for his first touchdown of the evening, but they give it to Dion James, who gets his 4th touchdown of the season, running right side, and Lexington has extended their lead.
Great blocking on the outside. You see the pulling guard right there making his job, and the fullback right in front of him. That's exactly what obviously Lexington needed. Get the touchdown after having such terrific field position and, converting on those DC Dragons mistakes.
And there are good vibes all around in the quarry here for the home team, the Lexington Miners. Yuki with the extra point. It is good, and it is a 14-point game. Who would have expected that? Lexington, 14-point lead on DC, but there's plenty of time left. 6:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, for both teams, they're trying to keep pace with their leaders in their divisions. DC, as you said, 3rd in the SFL, trying to keep up with Canton, trying to keep up with Baltimore, and Lexington just about a game and a half away from Minnesota for that 1st place in the Central.
Harrison brings this kick out, spin move out to the 24-yard line, and as you said, you mentioned the importance of this game for both of these teams, and like you said, for Lexington, we mentioned the first win over 500 if they do win tonight, and what a statement that makes, and just how good it really makes this team feel. They've heard the talk.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the last game they played back in season 22 was when Lexington was actually Tulsa. Now, Tulsa does have a few players, also, still in Lexington. You're talking about Gabriel Manning, Jay Rock, Nate Heslip, and others, Philadelphia Collins as well. Last time DC won 34-21, so, Lexington getting his payback, their payback here in this game so far.
Chuck Steller able to shred a couple of tackles and gets a few more yards. I want to give him 3. 2nd and 7 as we approach 5.5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Again, DC, they don't have to panic. You still have a 1.5 quarters. Just find the open man.
Keep an eye on Percoco, who now goes in motion to the bottom of your screen. But they keep it on the ground with Say, and he has nowhere to go as Ware comes up with the stop, one of the two men in on that play. And it's an important 3rd and 5 for DC.
Yeah, very much so. DC needs to convert here on 3rd down and try to find a little bit of momentum here in this second half that has gone all Lexington.
Pressure coming, but Synergy delivers a shot to Percoco, and you talk about a little bit of confidence. That's what Synergy needs after the 2 interceptions. He goes right back to Percoco and makes an important catch, or pass rather, to Percoco.
Yeah, and trust me, when you have a tight end as good as Percoco, and believe me, me having it with, guys such as Bill Henry and Navante Richardson in the past with Mike Daggs, and even if they're pretty tightly covered, you just give those guys a chance.
Percoco once again delivering. Synergy now back to the ground game with Harrison, who's been threatening to make a big run of it. And oh my goodness, and just as we're talking about it, it is Sam Harrison on the ground in pain, obviously. We'll hope it's nothing serious and he can return to this game, Ramos.
Yeah, hopefully so, because you see the way the things are looking, they need as many bodies as possible. And Harrison has had the biggest play of the game so far here for the Dragons, so pretty sensible loss here for DC.
54 yards on 7 carries, averaging, look at that, averaging 7.5, over 7.5 per carry. That's great stats. He's had a great night, and hopefully he can check back into this game soon after getting checked out. Now they go once more with Say, who drives the pile and gets close. It's 3rd and 1.
And in this situation, Cameron, this is a 4th down territory kind of situation on this side of the field. So 3rd and 1, I will give the ball to one of the backs, maybe the fullback Chuck Steller here, because you're going to go for it on 4th down anyway.
Instead, they give it to number 25, who checks in. That's Elvis Joseph, who gets the 1st down. But quickly, let's go to Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. He's got a game break for us. Good evening, Cam.
Thank you, Cam. Indianapolis hosting Queen City today, and for a while they played with their food. Late in the 3rd, up by 10, and Reggio De Niro with a beautiful one-handed catch. It's the run game, though, for Indy that has all 3 of their touchdowns now. Ramblers lead the Corsairs 27-10. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Good action over there, as always. Say with the carry, a gain of 1. Now clock beginning to tick, as you see, 3:30 and counting remaining in this 3rd quarter. Again, as you said, nothing of no need to panic, but you're definitely right. It's 4 down territory here.
Yeah. This side of the field. Now it depends also on the 4th down and distance right now, but yeah, like you really need a touchdown in this drive.
Again, folks, keep an eye on Percoco as we draw attention to the top of the screen where she has moved motion to the left of Synergy, but they do keep it on the ground once more, and we'll see who that checks in. I do believe that is the fullback Chuck Steller. Yeah, that's Steller. So Harrison not back out there yet. We hope to get an update on him. If you're just tuning in, he's had a great day, but just went out with an undisclosed injury. Is DC trying to battle back down by 14?
Yeah, for sure. Bunch formation, only 2 covering now. The tight end makes it a balance formation, but I think they're going to go top side of the screen anyway.
Jay Hayden was the man in motion, and Synergy runs into the pressure. He tried to scramble out of it and had no idea that it was the big man, number 91, Jaden Swift, who was behind him. The 10-year man gets the sack.
Great defense, not overrunning the quarterback, not over pursuing the quarterback. And, having a scrambling quarterback, having a mobile quarterback is both a blessing and a curse. You may think scrambling quarterbacks don't get sacked as much, but it's actually the opposite, because sometimes they run themselves into sacks. And that's exactly what happened in that situation, and Lexington has a monster stop on defense.
That plays right into what you said, Ramos. Depending on the down and distance on 4th, and after that sack, there was no other choice but to send Ron Van Cleef on, and he gets a good punt. It'll be down inside the 10, actually bounced out of bounds. So at least for DC, Lexington is kind of knocking at the, or should I say their backs against the wall.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Lexington has to get out of this situation. I think they have to run the football here on 1st down.
Slider will throw. Oh, that was kind of a scary situation there, throwing into double coverage. He was looking for Lars Bizarre, but that could have been a bizarre play, an interception going the other way.
Yeah, and I say running because in this situation, basically as a defense, your instinct is kind of like jumping routes, right? You're in the situation, you're trying to get a pick six, you're trying to get, some big play on defense. So you'll be extra aggressive in these kinds of situations.
Again, keep an eye on those team stats. Look at that, so evenly distributed. The difference, turnovers. That's made the difference in this game as Jones gets about 6 3rd and 4, but that is the tale of this game so far. Those 2 interceptions and Lexington able to get points off of the last one.
3rd down and 4. I would not be surprised if they put Kenny Slider in motion or on the rollout a little bit.
He scrambles, he finds, that's Manning. Is that Manning correct? I believe it is. Yep. Yes, Gabriel Manning. The 3rd down man. It was Alex West early in this game, and now they've found Manning with great pinpoint accuracy.
Great, hand fighting right there by Gabriel Manning, just wrestling with the corner, finding a little bit of open space, and Kenny Slider with good accuracy to get in for a first.
2 men in the backfield here for Lexington. We are down to just about a minute remaining in this 3rd quarter. Oh, and Jones there takes a hit. He gets 3. Folks, we want to remind you, if you haven't had a chance to yet, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got your notifications on so you won't miss a minute of SFL and SFLM action, just like you're watching tonight, and help this channel grow through your support. 2nd down, here is the carry to Deion James, the man who got the touchdown at the in that last series there. He gets a couple, and 3rd and 7 coming up.
A decent job here by Lexington, slowing the pace of the game a little bit. They know they have a 2-score lead, and just don't throw a dumb pick or anything like that.
3rd and 7, nobody in the backfield. Slider takes the snap, throws across his body. The pass is complete to Manning once more. They have been so good on 3rd down tonight.
They really have. And Manning is just racking up the stat sheet at this point. Again, it's not a very crazy route. It's just a quick dig route, a quick in, and finding the open spot in the zone.
The final seconds will tick away in this 3rd quarter, and we are headed to quarter number 4. Get your 4s up in the chat. We're going to say hello to Chris Curtis for the league rights right after this, but Lexington leads DC 17-3. We'll be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Cameron Duty here with Ramos Lynn, having a great time watching this game. Dakota Butts and Takeda Yuki on stats, and Cameron Irvine, of course, back at SFL headquarters. Toss play, oh my goodness. Somehow Phoenix Jones got out of that one. He gets a 1st down and then some, but scary moment, but great poise by Phoenix Jones.
Man, that could have been not only like a 5-yard loss, that could have gone the other way. At one point, it looked like the D-head might have put a hand on it, but Phoenix Jones turns that into a 15-yard gain and his best play of the night.
1st and 10 in Lexington. Boy, if they could put a drive together that takes time off the clock plus puts points on the board, they would be really doing something here. Slider to throw deep. The pass, in and out of the hands. Actually, a little bit of deflection there. We'll see if it was interference as we get the call.
Yep.
And you wonder, and that's a byproduct of Manning just having such a good day today. The defense trying to get a little physical, trying to do something to break this up.
I don't know about that call, to be honest, Cameron. That looked like a heck of a play, actually. Actually, Kenny Slider underthrew that ball by probably about 5 or 10 yards. Normally that goes to just the sideline pretty much, just so Gabriel Manning can catch it. And DC catches a pretty bad break here.
Yeah, we expect to see a little more interference on the replay than what we did, but nevertheless, Lexington able to take advantage of the penalty. The throw across the middle to Manning, complete, close to the 10. And look at the confidence brimming from this young man. A heck of a day from the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, for Kenny Slider, it's easy at this point. It's just find 18, 107 yards so far in this game, and DC is just unable to stop the bleeding.
have a day. Gabriel Manning, 107 receiving yards. 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Sending motion. That's DJ Bandit, the tight end. Slider once more to throw again. Good coverage. The pass is complete. That was DJ Bandit, who was the man in motion, falling to the ground with a 5-yard reception.
Yeah, and again, right now for Lexington, ball security, just ball security. You have a chip shot field goal in your hands. Even if you kick that field goal, it's a 3-possession game, and it really, really is daunting here for DC to come back from that.
Phoenix Jones with the carry. He gets close, 3rd and 3. Interesting stat about Phoenix Jones, Ramos. We know they like to give it to Dion James on this side of the field. And because of that, Phoenix does not have a rushing touchdown yet this season.
Yeah, he does not, which is pretty surprising. And it looks like James is in the field right now.
3rd and 3, and now they start to use motion. C.J. Parrish moves from right to left. 2 receivers now to the top, 1 to the bottom of the screen. And Slider will throw. Looking towards the end zone. It's intercepted. Oh, my goodness, what a game it has been. He tried to go for the death knell, if you will. And the turnover bug bites Slider. It's number 21. That is Josh Vasquez with the interception.
I mean, exactly what you don't want to have. That's worst case scenario here for Lexington. Honestly, a sack wouldn't have been as bad because, again, you do have the pretty short field goal. Yeah. You know, Kenny Slider just giving the DC Dragons life here in the 4th.
And Ramos, you had the screen option as well. You had the check down that you could have took also. So, yeah, just an unfortunate play there for Lexington. It gives DC another sign of life here. Now they've just got to take advantage of it. Prococo in motion. Synergy to delay handoff that time, and a good job by this Lexington defense. Boy, they've been all-stars tonight.
Yeah, they really have. You know, that was man-to-man coverage from the defense. So having that kind of draw play, you know, sometimes it's successful against that defense because you have the DBs turning their backs to the line of scrimmage. But a great job by the linebacker staying patient.
1-yard gain, they'll call it. 2nd and 9. Synergy stands in there. That pass a little off target and just a messy play all the way around. Gill, the intended target. It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and these DBs have been just glued to the receivers all night long. The receivers have no separation whatsoever.
That does stop the clock. 7:21 remaining in this football game. That's Synergy to throw on 3rd down. Throwing off his back foot to Prococo, and again, that's just what the doctor ordered. It doesn't even matter if you know what way Synergy's looking. You got to stop Prococo, and it's hard to do. It's like Manning on the other end.
Yeah, and it seemingly doesn't even matter if you throw with just 1 foot planted to the ground. That was a heck of a throw right there by Shabazz Synergy. Prococo, just like Manning, over 100 yards.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've talked about Manning, but very quietly, Prococo has put together a 100-yard game of her own. Synergy, again, throwing one-handed grab. The pass is complete to Josh Gill. This is something that's changed here almost. They really quick step drops. We didn't see that early on in this game out of this passing unit.
No, and that will neutralize the pass rush. You know, DC doing a pretty good job neutralizing that pass rush. And a pretty solid drive here cooking for the Dragons.
Yeah, right at midfield. The man in motion, but they keep it on the ground with Say, who gets the 1st down. And again, that's just knowing where you're at on the football field, knowing how many yards you need to convert and attacking.
Yeah, 1st down and 10. 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Still, you know, enough time for the Dragons to mount a comeback. Man-to-man coverage again with blitz.
Pressure coming, and somehow he was able to get rid of it before it got to him. And yeah, Prococo probably upset she didn't come down with that one, but she didn't have much of an opportunity to even get where the pass was intended, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good read by Chavez Synergy. Prococo becomes the hot receiver, but it was just a little bit inaccurate.
Again, we can thank this Lexington defense for that. It's at 2nd and 10, folks. You hear the crowd start to come to their feet. Oh, and again, another quick step drop, a throw across the middle to Josh Gill, and they're going to say he gets the first down.
Yeah, he does. And again, another good read, another solid play right there. Linebacker is on the receiver. That's going to be a mismatch, especially on those quick inside routes. The linebacker just not enough agility to get to those plays. And Chavez Energy, he's had a tough game, but this drive, he's piecing it out together.
Yeah, and you got to like the change that DC has made in tempo here. Another pass complete. That is intended for Chuck Steller, the fullback, and he rumbles and bumbles for about 8. Important thing to note, we have not seen Sam Harrison check back into the game as he went out in the 3rd quarter with an injury.
And now this is going to be 4th down territory regardless of situation, even if it's 4th and 15.
Percoco in motion, and everybody in this stadium sees it. To say he gets the first down, spin move, gets close to the 20 before getting knocked back, and we're inside of 5 minutes in this game. And you can almost start to expect to see a no-huddle scheme here by DC.
I was going to say exactly the same. Once you get to the 5-minute mark is when you will start with a no-huddle, right? You can still run the ball, that's fine, but right after that you have to hurry up your offense.
Remember, this drive started after an interception in the end zone as Slider was looking for the touchdown for Lexington, and they have just marched right down the field inside the 20 here, 2nd and 5, and you're right, Ramos, no huddle. Synergy to throw, the pass complete to Percoco, sheds a man, and it's 1st and goal for DC.
Yeah, and you got to keep it going, keep the no huddle going.
Synergy to throw, Lexington on the heels. Oh my goodness, and it was a big play right there by number 41 reaching in, Cameron Shaw. That pass had some heat on it, but good deflection. 2nd and goal coming up. That stops the clock and gives Lexington a chance to breathe.
Yeah, just a little bit of chance to breathe, as you said, and Harrison is back in the game, by the way. So pretty important to have that piece back in your offense.
Oh, good news indeed. Synergy to throw out of the shotgun. Nobody home, overthrew everyone. And you know what? Hey, better than taking a forced throw, an interception. Just back to the drawing board, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, pretty tight coverage. You still give your guy a chance to make a play, but if it's a situation, either your receiver gets it or nobody gets it. And, you know, that's a solid decision here from Chavez Energy. It's 3rd down. Again, you still have 2 downs to go. You are not thinking of kicking a field goal in this situation. You got to go for it.
Shotgun formation again. 3rd and goal. A big play here. Synergy pressure coming. Oh, a toss to Say, who gets trapped behind a lineman. Did not expect that. That's Demora in on the stop, and it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, trying to, get him with a shovel pass right there to kind of get him closer. It didn't work. Lexington with a really good play defensively. Bunch formation. I'm expecting crossing patterns here from this bunch.
Here we go. Synergy to throw on 4th down to Percoco, and she'll get the touchdown. Oh my goodness, that's close. You got to expect that might be looked at, but for now the touchdown stands. Synergy to Percoco.
Yeah, and that's a crossing route right here from Percoco. Starts inside in the formation and does a quick out to the outside. You're gonna see it right there, almost like a hook route, and I think she is just shy of the goal line. Let's see if we take a retroactive look at the play.
Are we gonna see a challenge?
No. It's just surprising. I mean, from Lexington, this could be the game.
And they will say touchdown. And so Caleb Richards on for the extra point. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-possession game with 3:42 remaining in the 4th. Wow, let's take a minute and reset and catch our breaths, Ramos.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been, they're going to kick an onside.
Oh, my goodness. Onside kick. Oh, it's touched, and it's going to DC. It's Walker who comes up with a heads-up play as it bounces off the hands of, let's see if we can get a number. We cannot, but Lexington not able to secure the football, and DC's right back in it.
She's going back to the touchdown. Probably she was on top of the defender and, technically not down until she crossed the end zone line. And now DC, with plenty of time, I may add.
And Lexington cannot believe what's happening. Now they got to ask their defense to make a stand, and a big stand that is. Mason Kirby, the man in motion. The energy, pressure coming. Oh, they got close, but not close enough. It is an incompletion. It was looking that way, as a matter of fact, for Mason Kirby at second down.
Just Lexington bringing the heat. That was cover 0, it looked like. Or just basically sending everybody that is not on man coverage.
2 men in the backfield now for DC. 3:37 remaining in regulation. The energy to throw. Again, just missing the mark, going for Percoco. They got her double teamed at the moment.
Yeah, they do. And it's not that was pretty decent separation for Percoco, all things considered. Just not an accurate ball by Chavaz. And they just don't want this third down and or this onside kick to just go to waste here on 3rd down and 10.
Look at this formation. Josh Gill, the man in motion. Huge play in this football game, folks. 3rd and 10, and Synergy snaps the football, throws deep. Percoco again. My goodness, what more can you say about this young lady? 136 yards, a touchdown, and she keeps going. Synergy again to throw. Back to the middle of the field for Percoco again, and until they can get Percoco locked down, oh, it's going to be a long couple of minutes, I'm afraid. 1st and 10
on
now.
Their field right now, fully.
Yeah, Synergy to throw, complete. That is number 83. I believe that's Mason Kirby. It is, and it's 1st and goal. 3 minutes remaining in the 4th. Synergy to throw to the end zone. Percoco, touchdown. We're 1 point away from a tie ball game.
Oh my goodness, and what DC didn't do in the first 32 minutes of play, they've come back and tied this game up in just a matter of about 90 seconds. What a great drive here by Chavaz, Synergy, and company.
Wow.
Absolutely clutch. And again, it's not complicated routes. It's not flashy. It was just a couple of slants. It was a post route thrown in there. And this is why that interception from Kenny Slider is so huge. He had at least a field goal to make it a 3-possession game, and all of a sudden we are all tied up at 17.
Caleb Richards with possibly the most important extra point of his season. He ties this game up all at 17. Gutsy right there. They come up with the big interception off of Kenny Slider. They march right down the field. They score with Percoco. Then the gutsy onside kick. They recover it. And Lexington is left at the moment in shambles. They've got to regroup here as Manning takes the touchback.
And it's crazy when this offense left the field, albeit with the interceptions, they were leading by 14 points, and now Kenny Slider and company have to come back with the game tied. And plenty of time here for Lexington. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Folks, if you haven't hit the like button yet, come on, smash that like button. Where else do you get football content such as this? Oh, my goodness, and the run. Oh, shoot, that was Jones there with the carry. One-handed it there. I thought he almost lost the football. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Actually, all things considered, decent job by Phoenix Jones making a negative play, a 2-yard gain. This defense is humming right now for DC.
Yeah, they woke a sleeping dragon, pun intended. 2nd and 8 coming now. 2 receivers to the top. Slider to throw, and again, locking down. I believe that is Manning on the reception. But again, good defensive coverage. Not able to get downfield, and it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and you got to let this go to the 2-minute warning if you're Lexington. I mean, you will line up, see the defense, see if you like the coverage, but I will just take it to the 2-minute warning.
And they snap it right at the 2-minute marker. They throw.
Oh, PI.
Oh, yeah, they're going to call a PI on that one. I believe they're going to get number 24 on that, if I'm not mistaken, Peanuts say.
And that one, at least on first glance, it looked like a little bit more obvious than the previous one. The previous one, it was, tacky at best. This one, yeah, I mean, he just completely interferes with the receiver.
Yeah, impeded the route. 2 minutes, folks. Check your blood pressure. Catch your breath. You're going to want to see the end of this one. We'll be right back. Cameron Duty and Ramos Lynn here. Dakota Butts and Takeda Yuki doing stats. Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. Thank you for being a part of this Saturday night action. We've got a good one here. Manning in motion. All tied up suddenly at 17. Slider to throw on first down after the interference call. Manning right at the midfield stripe gets the first down. Real quickly, Indianapolis defeats Queen City 30-17. That is a final. Let's take a look at this play on this replay here, Ramos.
Just absolutely mossed him. I mean, that's great coverage. Like, all things considered, that's great coverage. The defender did not get a hand up, but man, that's you cannot play much better defense than that.
1st and 10. A minute and a half essentially remaining in this fourth quarter. Slider to throw and wide open is Alex West. We haven't heard from him since the first quarter. He's down to the 5-yard line and a timeout is called.
Wow, what a play. And for Lexington, actually, I mean, DC does still have 2 timeouts, but maybe even better that he didn't score. As weird as that sounds, you can take the clock down just a little bit more, and again, as long as you don't turn the football over, you have the game in your hands.
Slider with a tight formation here, gives it to Phoenix Jones, running right and doesn't get much, but like you said, that will force DC to burn another timeout, and you're right, clock management here so crucial. They don't want to give Shabazz Synergy and Percoco any time to work if they get the ball back.
Yeah, no, and right now you throw every single passing play from your playbook, just throw it away, and you run the ball at least here on 2nd down.
And they do. Left side. Oh, and what a bulldozing run by Phoenix Jones. And another timeout called, and just like that, DC has eliminated all their timeouts. So if they get the ball back, they're going to have their backs against the wall there, but they do what they got to do here.
Yeah, and you got to run again. You got to run this again and take this clock down as much as possible, I think.
I am in agreement. We'll see what they do. The handoff again to Phoenix Jones, going for his first touchdown of the season, and he stops short. It's 4th and goal, and that's going to be Peanut Sayin on the stop. So a big rebound play for him. He had the PI that extended this drive, but he gets the stop on 3rd and goal. Clock now continuing to run. An 18-yard attempt, Ramos, by Takeda Yuki.
Yeah, you got to take this clock all the way down. All the way down. No.
Oh, and they don't.
Yeah.
The ball is snapped. Yuki does follow through with a great field goal.
Now you do get the lead, but instead of just leaving DC with maybe about 30 seconds, you leave them with 46 seconds left, which the way they operate in the last drive, 46 seconds may be plenty of time, even without timeouts.
Indeed. Folks, really quickly, let us remind you that Week 10 continues tomorrow, headlined by a crucial matchup in the East between the Carolina Skyhawks and Atlanta Swarm at 9 p.m. Plus, you'll get Denver and Arizona, Motor City and Canton, and Louisiana and Pittsburgh. That's another doubleheader of coverage with SFL right here on YouTube tomorrow. And, folks, I'm telling you, where else do you get football coverage like this? This is incredible stuff, and we're fortunate to be watching such a great game tonight. Here we go, Ramos. What are we going to see?
Wow, I mean, who knows what we're going to see. This has been a crazy game. What I know is this: if you're Lexington, and no disrespect to the receivers they got, Josh Gill and company, Josh Gill having a pretty solid 4th quarter, you just double and triple Lauren Percoco. I mean, if you get beat by the other receivers, so be it, but you cannot leave the best receiver on the team open.
And here we go. What kind of magic does Shabazz Synergy and company have left up their sleeve? Synergy to the pressure. Instead, it's the defense of Lexington making a big play, and I believe that was Jaden Swift on the sack. It was indeed the 2nd of the night. And they got to snap it. Yep, they got to stop it, so they have to burn it down quickly. It's 3rd and 16 here.
Yeah, just disastrous here for DC. Again, Lexington brought in the 0 coverage play, and if you don't have a quick hitter, if you don't have something like a hot route like already in plan, that's sometimes what happens. You will get sacked.
3rd and 16, and you hear this crowd come to life. Synergy to throw to Percoco. They get some of that yardage back, about 10. 4th and 6, folks. This could be the ball game. 20 seconds remaining, lining up in the same formation. Synergy to throw to Percoco. It's complete. 14 seconds. Time is not on their side. 10 seconds to go. They're lining up, wanting to get close to field goal range. They'll have to spike it here, and they do.
Okay, so you can look at it two ways. You can throw a quick hitter to the outside, try to get out of bounds, or most likely what we're gonna see a shot or two as deep as you can. Maybe you cannot get it to the end zone, but try to force a PI. Try to do something that can put you in a better position.
Folks, a home team, remember, has not won in 3 of the last 4 meetings. Can that change tonight? The pass deep. It is caught, but time running out. That's Mason Kirby with the reception, and Lexington is going to win at home. Lexington are also going to win their first game against a 500 team or better. And DC is going to fall just short by a final score of 20-17. What a game. What a game. One for the ages. Instant classic. Ramos, give us your final thoughts.
I mean, what a way for DC to fight back in this game. With about 6-7 minutes left in the game, it looked like they were dead to rights, and they just come back, score a touchdown, get the onside kick, and then just basically do like a 30-second drive, let alone a 2-minute drive, a 30-second drive to put the game at 17 apiece. But Lexington and Kenny Slider, great job not panicking at the end. Clutch gene right there by Kenny Slider, and good job in the red zone, in the inside the 10, protecting the football that time, kicking the field goal to win. The defense holds, and Lexington gets their biggest win of the season.
Folks, I challenge you to find a better football game than that. I don't think you're going to do it. For Takeda Yuki, for Dakota Butts, for Cameron Irvine, and my buddy Ramos Lynn, my name is Cameron Duty. Have a good night. Congratulations to Lexington. We will see you soon. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.